Alright, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, in honor of spooky season. It is that time of the month where things get a little bit spooky, a little bit freaky, a little bit wonky. It's a month that I truly enjoy, and in honor of that, we are going to be doing a top 5 coolest ghost type Pokemon list. And with that being said, this list is obviously going to be subjective. Now, for those of you that don't know, the ghost type Pokemon to me are the coolest type in all of Pokemon. I truly adore the aesthetic of it, the theme of it, the direction that they go with the lore with a lot of the different kinds of Pokemon. So even though I'm only doing 5, there are so many cool ghost type Pokemon. Even if I missed your favorite Pokemon that's a ghost type, do not worry. By no means am I saying it's lame. All I'm saying is these are the 5 that I'm highlighting for my own personal reasons. And I don't think you can go wrong with any of the 5 that I'm listing. Although with one of them, I am cheating a little bit, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's get straight to it. Okay, at number 5, drum roll please. We have Giratina. So the reason why I want to have Giratina at number 5 and why I believe it is a super cool ghost type Pokemon. For one, it's a ghost and dragon. I don't really think you can go wrong with the dual typing of Ghost and Dragon just because you're going to get a wicked design. And that's definitely what you have with Giratina. But also, Giratina is just a crazy, chaotic Pokemon. In the beginning of time, the mythical Pokemon Arceus created the Pokemon of Antimatter, Giratina, the Pokemon of Time, Dialga, and the Pokemon of Space, Palkia. All 3 in their origin forms. After the Pokemon universe was created, due to Giratina's violent nature, Arceus banished it to a world on the reverse side of the Pokemon world, the Distortion world. Giratina is a highly aggressive and territorial Pokemon that is protective of its home. So not only do you have a super wicked design in Giratina, you have an amazing story, you have a great dual typing, and all in all, you just have a powerful Pokemon. Going into the earliest Pokédex of this Pokemon, Generation 4, Pokemon Diamond that is, a Pokemon that is said to live in a world on the reverse side of ours. It appears in an ancient cemetery. Pokemon Platinum, it was banished for its violence. It silently gazed upon the old world from the Distortion world. Like that's pretty creepy, but it's pretty wicked. I think this Pokemon is a honestly great ghost type Pokemon. Going to number 4, drum roll please. We have Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a universally loved ghost type Pokemon, and the reason why is because it's silly, it looks super friendly, but if you get into the lore and a little bit of the Pokemon itself and the Pokédexes, it's very cool why it looks like a Pikachu. So first things first, what makes this Pokemon unique is it has 2 forms. It has a disguised form and it has a busted form. The disguised form is typically what you see if you just go online and type in Mimikyu, because that is its poster form, if you will. If you hit the Pokemon, for example, when I play Pokemon Showdown, whenever I hit Mimikyu, it would go into its busted form. The busted form basically is after it's hit, and the disguised form is going to give you 1 hit of protection. At least that's how it works in Showdown. Anyway, what I love about Mimikyu and why I truly like it is it picked Pikachu as its body, if you will. It picked Pikachu because Pikachu is a beloved Pokemon. It's a popular Pokemon. So it wanted to make friends. So it thought it would be easier to be picking Pikachu as its appearance, just to make friends. Another thing that's really cool is that its true appearance is unknown. So the Generation 7 Pokédex, talking about Mimikyu, its actual appearance is unknown. A scholar who saw what was under its rag was overwhelmed by terror and died from the shock. Going into some other Pokédex entries, a lonely Pokemon, it conceals its terrifying appearance beneath an old rag so it can get closer to people and other Pokemon. Although it's a quiet, lonely Pokemon, if you look at what's under its rag, it will become agitated and resist violently. Another entry, a gust of wind, revealed what hides under this Pokemon's rag to a passing trainer who went home and died painfully that very night. This is Pokemon, by the way, and that is that is wicked, dude. Mimikyu is very interesting Pokemon, to say the least. It's very deserving to be in the top 5 coolest ghost type Pokemon. At number 3, drum roll please, we have Annihilate. Now this one I'm definitely biased toward because I always loved the Mankey and Primeape Pokemon, and I hated that they were just super weak and super outdated. And then, lo and behold, you get Annihilate. And the story of Annihilate is really cool, but the typing is really cool. Fighting and Ghost. Not something you see very often. So I'm going to read you a description about Annihilate real quick because I think this is really, really simple, but the idea of it I think is really creative. Annihilate evolved from Primeape when the rage in its soul became too much for its physical form to contain. It gained increased power as a result of its spirit no longer being limited by the flesh. The rage that was bubbling inside it fills its punches with force that frightens its targets to their core. Annihilate and its pre-evolved form, Primeape, are the only known capable Pokemon of learning the move Rage Fist. And just when you look at the Pokemon and going from Primeape to Annihilate, you can see how much more dark, and I'm going to use the term wicked here, he looks. If you look at Goku, for example, when he's in Super Saiyan 2 or 3, he looks pissed off. But when he goes into Ultra Instinct, there's just this literal aura about him. You look at Annihilate, it's almost like he has that same aura of just like, don't mess with me, I'm on another level. And then you see the shackles that are broken. It is phenomenal. They did a hell of a job with Annihilate. In my opinion, he is very, very deserving of being the top 5 coolest ghost type Pokemon, and I have him sitting at number 3. At number 2, drum roll please, we have Marshadow. Marshadow is one of those Pokemon who I think they just nailed the design aspect from top to bottom because it looks so innocent. It looks like, what is that thing gonna do to me kind of vibe. You look at its dual typing and it's fighting in Ghost. For one, it does look like a ghost, but it looks like a very non-scary ghost. 2, it doesn't even look like a fighting Pokemon at first glance. You look at the height of this thing, it's 2 feet tall. There is really nothing intimidating about it. Looks can be really, really deceiving with this Pokemon. Very few people have seen this Pokemon, so its existence have been the stuff of legends and myths. A cautious Pokemon, Marshadow sinks into the shadows to ensure it is not noticed while it observes its surroundings, much like how Gengar can. While hiding in the shadows of others, it can understand their feelings and copy their abilities. Through mimicry, it will eventually become powerful, more powerful than those it imitates. It can even learn the ultimate technique of martial arts and master its copies. Marshadow is the only Pokemon capable of learning the move Spectral Thief, by the way, which is a crazy, crazy awesome moves. But looking at its Pokédex entries is where things can get really, really cool. By slipping into the shadow of a martial arts master and copying their movements, the Pokemon learned ultimate techniques. So this Pokemon has literally been waiting in the shadows, getting stronger and getting stronger, only to get strong enough to beat the person that it is copying, which is really cool. And again, this Pokemon doesn't look threatening at all. But if you go to its stats, they're super awesome. 125 attack base stat, which is really freaking good. Also, if you look at it in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it is a Pokemon that can be summoned. It's just so awesome, dude. The shadowy figure of it and the strength of it comes out of a Master Ball. It is... Whew. This Pokemon is so freaking cool from top to bottom. Looks can be really deceiving. And with this one, my favorite part about it is that it's just hiding in the shadows, waiting to become stronger. But also, it's how it understands others. We're on the last one. And in the beginning of the video, I said I would cheat a little bit. This is the part where I cheat a little bit. Drumroll please for number 1. We have the Gengar evolution line. Now, typically I only pick one Pokemon because that one Pokemon could be a legendary, or it could not evolve at all, or if it does evolve, I think the only excuse here is Annihilate, where the first 2 evolvements aren't even a ghost type. But even then, there are other ghost type that I didn't consider as a whole. The reason why I'm considering the Gengar line as a whole is because I grew up watching Pokemon. I grew up adoring the ghost types because there was only 3. Watching them in the episodes and playing as them in Pokemon Stadium, it was just really cool to me, and I picked all of them. There wasn't one that I gravitated more towards until Mega Evolution came along, where you kind of had to be Gengar. You want to get Gigantamax Gengar, but even then you kind of have to go to Gengar just for its stats alone. But all 3 I really, really loved wholeheartedly. Gengar to me is the coolest. It is Gen 1, obviously, so everyone and their mom knows Gengar. Like, if you don't, how? So, getting into Gengar's personality a little bit, Gengar is very mischievous and at times malicious, and enjoys playing practical jokes and casting curses, such as pretending to be one shadow, then behaving erratically. When the quarry notices, the Gengar takes delight in its victim's terror. However, Gengar has been known to be loyal to a trainer who treats it well. Being the result of an evolution via trading, Gengar is rarely found in the wild, though they can be found in caves and dark places where shadow forms. It is especially fond of urban areas such as cities and back alleys, but only during the night. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Gengar is known to sleep deeply while hiding in the shadow of a target it plans to curse. In the latest Pokédex entries about Gengar, we'll talk about it real quick. To steal the life of its target, it slips into the prey's shadow and silently waits for an opportunity. Hiding in people's shadows at night, it absorbs their heat. The chill it causes makes the victim shake. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that if you go across all the Pokédexes, is that if you feel a sudden chill, it's a Gengar. For example, in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, a Gengar is close by if you feel a sudden chill. It may be trying to lay a curse on you. Should you feel attacked by a sudden chill, it is evidence of an approaching Gengar. There is no escaping it. Give up. That's definitely the theme you get across all the Pokédex entries. But if you guys want to hear about Haunter real quick, we'll get to that, and we'll get to Ghastly. So looking at Haunter and his Pokédex entries real quick, its tongue is made of gas. If licked, its victim starts shaking constantly until death eventually comes. That would be terrible. If you get the feeling of being watched in darkness when nobody is around, Haunter is there. It can slip through any obstacle. It lurks inside walls to keep an eye on its foes. It licks with its gaseous tongue to steal its victim's life force. It lurks in darkness waiting for prey. And then, last and probably least, all things considered, Ghastly's Pokédex entry. With its gas-like body, it can sneak into any place it desires. However, it can be blown away by wind. This Pokemon's body is 95% made up of gases. Pokemon can be blown away by a strong gust of wind. It's a strong Pokemon born from poison gases. Okay, so it's literally Ghastly. It's a gas. Okay, that's going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you guys saw some of your favorite ghost type Pokemon. If not, don't worry. I think the whole typing is really just amazing, and you could have gone several different directions with this, but this is the direction that I went. My personal list. Let me know what you guys think. What are your favorite ghost type Pokemon? As always, I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. This is Ollie Been Different. We've been different. And we out.